Vincent, we came in this morning and were surprised to see the Italian market down so much, and it appeared to be an oil service company to blame, Saipem, and it dragged a lot of the both oil services companies and the majors down with it. I guess the big question is it a company-specific thing or is it a sector thing? What's happening?
Well, at the moment it looks like a company-specific thing. Basically what Saipem did last night after the market closed was to just make a massive sort of revision to some expected numbers for 2013. So basically, the new CEO of Saipem came out and said that our EBIT for 2013 will probably be 750 million euros. Analysts thought it was going to be 1.5 billion. That's a pretty big revision.
So they cut their profits forecast by half, which is pretty extraordinary out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean they hadn't given a previous forecast, but obviously analysts were basing their expectations on discussions with previous management. So what the new guy has done is just throw out the old guy's numbers and said we're starting from scratch here.
And is that something specific to the market, to end demand, or something going on at the company?
I think it's company specific from what I can see at the moment. Basically, it has to do with the quality of the business that they're going to be carrying out in 2013 is a lot lower than previous years. And the contracts that they signed that they will be executing in 2013, they signed them in sort of roughly 2010 or thereabouts, when there was ferocious competition in the oil services space, particularly from Korean and Japanese companies and Chinese companies coming in and sort of underbidding the traditional European and American players. And so it's pretty low margin, and the new CEO has just taken a very conservative approach to this low margin business now. But the thing is, like, the low margin business should have been obvious for a good while, right? So I think the question is, why has it only been spotted now?
And I was under the impression that end demand for oil services companies was extremely good. I mean, it was one of the sort of golden eras for oil service companies. There weren't enough companies in this space. I didn't think pricing was under that much pressure. End demand was okay. So this is a bit of a shock. It
is a shock, and you're right that in the global oil services space, there's lots of stuff going on. I mean, predictions are for enormous capital spending between now and the end of the decade. And moreover, a lot of that extra spending, a lot of that very high spending is going to be in deep water markets like Brazil and off the coast of Africa. And Saipem is a specialist in deep water drilling and construction. So, this is really bad news for Saipem at a very bad time. And it couldn't have come at just a worse moment really for that company.
Okay, well the shares are off 32% for those brave enough to still play the oil service sector. Thank you very much for that, Vincent.